right then.
So we're good to go.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. So welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Brianna, for having me to talk about dreams. Well, this is Simin from Ankara, Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm a shamanic teacher and a shamanic practitioner and a dream enthusiast, basically. Many years ago, well, this dreaming is very important in this part of the world. Nighttime dreams I'm talking about. So most of my life, in all the breakfast at the breakfast table with my family, we started the day sharing dreams.
Yeah.
But many years ago, suddenly I started having different dreams with animals, with teachers. It was so interesting. And coming from this culture of dreaming, I knew something was going on, and I always knew I have to take dreams seriously. So I started not analyzing but following those dreams and trying to decipher where they would take me. And they took me into the world of shamanism.
Mm.
Well, it wasn't something alien because the word shamanism comes from Tungus people and Siberia, and basically that word is used to describe the spiritual practices of the Turkic and Mongolian people. So I'm Turkish, basically. So it's my ancestors. And this everything started with dreams, as I said, and I've been recording like 7, 8, 10 dreams a night.
Wow.
I've been learning so much and experiencing so much. And then suddenly a figure appeared in my dreams, and I saw that was Sandra Ingerman after research.
Wow.
I found her, sent her an email, and we got acquainted, and I received all my shamanic training from Sandra, which I will be always grateful. But you see, this nighttime dream component, I
Mhm.
should say, it's always there. You know, that's how I basically navigate through life and my work and everything else. I take my dreams very, very seriously. And of course, dreams can provide us with a wealth of information. But I see in the Western world, many people dismiss their dreams, which is curious.
Mm.
uh, Here, it is different. You know, you can even talk to someone, a complete stranger, about a nighttime dream, and it is a very common practice. So I would like to encourage everyone to embrace their dreams and better understand them.
Mm.
And you see, what I do is not analyzing dreams, dissecting them, because dreams from the other world, uh, they have this energy. By dissecting and analyzing them, that energy is lost. So
Mm.
I'd rather call myself a dream explorer
Mm.
instead, an enthusiast.
Mhm.
And how can we explore our dreams? Uh, and maybe I should also talk about what to do if we think we don't dream.
Mhm.
And as I said, it's dreams have been there all my life, and I would call a dream as a wake-up call,
Mm.
basically. And they don't tell us what we already know. So that's why I call them a wake up call. They take us beyond what we already know. And of course, dreams are the language of our souls and experiences of our souls. And of course, I mean, when I'm talking about dreams, of course, there are big dreams and there are little dreams, and too much spicy pizza dreams. What I'm mostly interested is the big dreams, and in those big dreams, we go journeying, traveling, or we receive visitations, and also we travel across time into the future because we're always scouting the future in our dreams, and we travel into the past. And of course, we travel to other dimensions of reality. Uh, for example, uh, in Turkish, the word for dream is düş, and it's also a verb, means fall, like something, a grace falling onto you. So
Mm,
it's coming from above, you see,
mhm,
kind of a grace.
right.
And of course, if you look at the Venezuelans, for example, they have these indigenous people called the Mariquitare. The word for dream is adecato, which means a journey of the soul.
Mm,
So,
cool.
yeah, these are all experiences and journeys of the soul.
Mm,
Well, and you see, we call this, daily life, the waking life. But when we look deeper into it, we see this like most of us often go about in this waking life in the condition of sleepwalkers,
mm,
uh, in this uh, trance, maybe I should call it. We have these schedules. Uh, there are others expectations of other people. We're trying to fit in. We have these deadlines, and you see, like we're going about trying to do this, catch up with that, and in the end, what happens is we are out of touch with the deeper meaning of our lives, basically. But dreaming, we found our inner compass and the larger story. Uh, and from this, we can draw the courage and clarity, and we can make better choices when confronted with everyday challenges. Uh, for example, as I said, when I started years ago having these different
yeah.
types of dreams, I wanted to go and learn more, but I had to travel to Europe somewhere. Now I can't really recall. But you see, dreaming is such a way of life here. My husband, when I said, I think I'd like to go and learn more. I need this training workshop. He said he wasn't very positive about this. And I didn't want any tension in the house, so I went to bed saying, with an intention, I said, show me, will I be able to do this? And in the dream, I was on an airplane, and the pilot was making an announcement. Now are about to land to this airport, and I just woke up with a different kind of energy. But I didn't know what to do. So the next night, I went to bed. What should I do? How can I make this happen? That was the question. And in the morning, in that hypnagogic area where while I wasn't awake and I wasn't sleeping, in that I heard someone saying, use different words.
Mm.
Hmm. I said, thank you. And just I went downstairs. We prepared the breakfast, and I said, I'm going to such and such place for this training. Would you like to go with me? You
Mm.
can go around while I'm in the training. I
Yeah.
said, I'm busy. You see, and that was important in my life to navigate because I didn't know then, but those dreams were coming to change my life.
Mm.
To change my life, and they did, with all the shamanic training for myself, basically, because I wanted to learn what was going on, and I am still learning, basically.
Mm-hmm.
A practitioner, and then I became a teacher and everything. Now, I used to be a public sector consultant, working around the country on different projects, and I just quit that job, and now I'm just a full-time shamanic teacher and dreamer, nothing else. So my life really, really changed.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 years ago, I wrote this book, and I found the courage to write this book because basically, in my dreams, even before I could just imagine writing a book on shamanism and dreams, I was having these dreams of I was seeing these books and 10 copies of the same book sent to me, and I was waking up asking myself, what is this, what's going on? And in the meantime, at that time, it was unimaginable. But then in time, I just found the courage from those dreams and sat down and wrote the book, and then the publisher sent me a box with 10 copies of my book. And I
Wow.
say, okay, this is the dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, the wake up call may come in a sleep dream. So
Mm-hmm.
it also may come in that liminal state, as I said, while when we're drifting between sleep and waking.
Mm-hmm.
And also, as I said, this is a marvelous space for creative discovery.
Mm-hmm.
And we can make connections that escape the ordinary mind. And of course, that's not the only thing, that's not the only place. We may receive that wake up call in the midst of everyday life through coincidences or like a pop up symbol from the world about us. And so, because you see, from the perspective of the shaman, where we're living, this physical world is also a layer of dreaming, physical. But anyway, if we can just go outside and look at the world around us, even during the day, as a dream and think about it as a dream, that could give us so much information. I would come back to that later
Mm-hmm.
again, and I would suggest a game or two you can play with.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. It's fun. And of course, we can learn to travel, to journey into the dream, wide awake and conscious,
Mm-hmm.
in the way of the ancient shamans did. Those I teach in my dreaming and shamanic journey workshops.
Yeah.
And this way we can journey to places of healing and guidance in the dream world or dream time in non-ordinary reality and bring back gifts to this reality.
Mm.
So people usually ask me, why is it important to try to understand our dreams?
Mm-hmm.
Well, basically, for starters, I should say, I mean, this subject is wide and deep, but we solve problems in our sleep, like I said. And dreams coach us for future challenges and opportunities as well. And I remember a few years ago, I was working in another city, just 2 hours by train. And we had these problems in the country then, bombings and etc. So I woke in terror. I didn't remember any dreams, but I went to the office and worked during the day. And in the evening, I was returning to my hotel room and passing through this park. And I just didn't see them, but heard them. The crows, a murder of crows. They were so loud. And, I like crows. I think they are very wise and they bring some news
Mm-hmm.
from the other side. I felt scared. It was like the alarm call, you see.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what was going on and just ran to my hotel room and locked the door, and I had my dinner and went to sleep. And the other day, I had to be at the train station to meet someone, a friend of mine. She was coming to visit. And I started feeling, you see, those feelings come. And I started feeling quite weird. Something inside me was saying, like, that gut feeling, something is going to happen. It's not going to be good,
Mm-hmm.
you see. And anyway, it was Friday night. I took the train, but in the train, I was feeling panicky again. And I was seeing those emergency exit signs like getting bigger. And anyway, I just, the train arrived in the station. I came out and took the first taxi home, and I tried to forget about it, but I knew it, in my bones, something was going to happen. Anyway, and I also had the plans to take my in-laws to that city for a visit. It's
Mm-hmm.
close, 2 hours. So, yeah. So, anyway, we were having breakfast downstairs, and suddenly the TV was on, and I heard there was like this bomb went off in the train station,
Mm-hmm.
and more than 100 people died in that massacre. So the murder of crows, in that case,
Mm-hmm.
you see, they can change. These things can save even your life.
Mm-hmm.
If I were the type of person who dismissed my dreams or my gut feelings or my intuition, I wouldn't be here talking to you today.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Mm-hmm.
so even the latest thing, I didn't go to bed with an intention. My general intention when I go to bed at night is show me what I have to see.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a very good intention.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have anything specific in your mind, that is a very good intention. So in that night dream, I was in my house and looking out towards the garden and looking at the borders, you see. Uh, and I saw these ancient wild animals trying to get into the house, but they couldn't because they were wiring,
Mm-hmm.
and they trying to attack, but they just couldn't come in. And at that time, I've been worried about the coronavirus and COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
Am I protected? Is there anything else I need to do? Because I'm really careful. So that dream showed me I was doing good. I don't
Yeah.
need to worry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, stay inside and nothing will happen. All right, thank you. Thank you. So you see, dreams are seriously very, very, very practical.
Mm-hmm.
Very practical.
Mm-hmm.
Practical. And you see, they show us what's going on, what we can do. And for example, dreams also show us what the body needs to stay well.
Mm.
And if we're sick, how to get well.
Mm.
Mm. So again, years ago, I was dreaming of these gigantic carrots.
Wait, what?
They
Gigantic
were
what?
carrots.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, carrots. You
Yeah.
see, yeah, I didn't stop and analyze because, a dream has more than, because a dream is basically multi-layered, okay?
Yeah.
It can mean this and that or the other thing.
Mm.
But you see, when I wake up from a dream, smiling because the dream was showing me, gigantic carrots, and I had these carrot fields and carrots and carrots. So I said, all right then. I just went out for grocery shopping and bought some carrots. And, I've been having a carrot a day since. You see, the in my dream work, I do something first to thank the dream source,
Yeah.
and then if I want to analyze it, then I analyze that.
Right.
Because at that time I was also working on something. It was also about my work,
Mm.
and you see, carrots are, they grow underground, and you see nothing about above the ground, basically nothing much, let's
Yeah.
say. And these carrots were gigantic and they were just there and so big. And I said, okay. And I was feeling a kind of, disappointed, saying I'm putting all this work into this and it's not paying off, that frustration kind of
Yeah.
feeling. So they also dream show me just keep doing it, persevere, and you will have these gigantic. They will come out and it's going to be visible. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's just the body also talks through
Mm.
dreams, and why not have a carrot a day? I also did that as a saying thank you to the
Yeah.
dream source,
Yeah.
meaning
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I really like, may he rest in peace, Jeremy Taylor, and if you know his book, The Wisdom of Your Dreams, I highly recommend that.
Okay.
And as he writes there, dreams hold up a magic mirror,
Mm.
and this magic mirror shows our current actions and attitudes. So they're helping us to take an objective look at ourselves and maybe make wiser choices.
Mm. Yeah.
So, your dream self, maybe it is wise to say, would I normally do that? How is my dream self? What are her attitudes, her actions? What is she doing? You know, Thinking about that for a second, that could be quite enlightening in some about some dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, um, I would also call dreams are as a creative studio
Mm-hmm.
where we develop these new ideas, because you see, in history, like inventors, scientists, writers, the world changers have always done that. If you think of Einstein, for example, his theory of relativity, and how he explained that, that enlightenment came to me in a dream when he fell asleep. And the modern sewing machine of Edward Hall, he came, how the needle should be used came to him in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And in my case, for example, when I was writing the book and I was asking my dream, show me, I was saying, what this book needs to say. And I was seeing in the dream reading these whole chapters, and then waking up and start writing,
Wow.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So makes life easier sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. And I was wondering, I mean, like when you say don't analyze, but just really allow the dream to be a practical tool.
Yeah.
So when you dream every night and have, you remember parts of three different dreams, what do you do
Hmm.
with that? What would you do with that?
Well, when I say not analyze but explore,
Right.
basically, first consider your feelings on waking.
Mm-hmm.
How am I feeling? Those feelings will be your first and best, I should say, guidance on the nature and meaning of the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it is negative or positive, literal or symbolic, because dreams may be very literal,
Mm-hmm.
urgent or important, or maybe even trivial, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Just, extreme examples are quite useful in this case. Like, for example, one night I was having this dream. I was standing on top of this hill and I was looking around, and I was seeing these volcanoes erupting. Everywhere was filled with lava, boiling, and these tsunamis were hitting. And then I was I was just there, and what to do, what to do. I was thinking to myself. And then when I woke up, I checked my feelings and I was feeling quite neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I said, because if when dreams are directly related to us,
Mm-hmm.
and when they're urgent, you feel that urgency, you feel that fear, you see. But
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling quite neutral. And then I remember a few days later, I think, because it was years ago, that movie came out, 2012. Remember? And 2012. Yeah, that was the movie. And so we sat down, we had our popcorn, and while watching the movie, I was almost watching the dream. So you
Yeah.
see, we always scout the future, and it was like the lack of urgency, the lack of fear, but being neutral. I just sat there and watched the film, and I was smiling. I said to my husband, I watched this movie a few nights ago. But then, for example, the opposite could happen. The opposite could happen. You might be in a dream. It could be like a ho-hum dream, okay? But then you might wake up with a feeling of urgency. You need to do something. There's something going on. You don't understand. Then you see the dream is trying to tell you something, that there is something urgent you need to do. Then what to do then? Go back inside the dream, like the shamans did, that the shamans have been doing for years,
Mm-hmm.
centuries, tens of thousands of years, and see. Or just, like the Jungian school does, they go back inside the dreams. Jung did not, you see, invent this, it's been there all the time.
Yeah.
And in my view, Jung was a dream shaman. So you can, just imagine what is the dream trying to tell you, what that urgent action you need to be taking right now.
Mm-hmm.
So feelings, and feelings. The
Yay.
best, the best guidance comes from there.
Yeah.
Then, of course, it doesn't end there. Then you should do a reality check.
Mm,
Like reality check means compare the contents of the dream with your waking life
mm,
and compare the situation and behavior of your dream self, like I said some few minutes ago, with that or your everyday self.
right.
Uh, Would I normally do this? Would I normally say that? What's going on there? For example, if you're running away something in your dream, and maybe you could ask yourself, uh, where am I? What am I running away from? Something in regular life?
Yeah.
That that would be a good question.
Yeah.
So that's a reality check.
Right.
And another reality check is, for example, uh, you may know places, you may know people, those could be literal. So uh, we should ask any dream, is it possible that any part of this could manifest in the future? As
Mm,
I said, we're constantly scouting.
mm-hmm.
And so the dreams are constantly rehearsing us for challenges and also opportunities that lie ahead.
Right.
Because, like, stay away from that place, or say this in that meeting, these are the magic words.
Right.
That could be there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you feel that a dream may be showing an unpleasant future event, you may be able to work with that dream to avoid that unwanted possible future. Because I should say this, in dreams we see, because in Turkish we don't have dreams, we see dreams.
Oh,
Yeah, we
cool.
see dreams.
Yeah.
That's why I have to stop and correct myself and say you're speaking English, not Turkish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So dreams show us two kinds of things. I'm talking about future. They show us what may happen, like possible futures,
Mm-hmm.
and they also show us what will happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've observed in my whole life, basically, as I said, dreams are quite important in this part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
People sometimes get really freaked out, okay? Really freaked out. And they say, I saw this in my dream, and will this happen? Dreams are there for us.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, you know, how would you say that in English? Let me remember. They're not on our case. They are on our side,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
We can see something like an old and very ill relative dying, or we can see, volcanoes erupting. We cannot avoid this.
Right.
We cannot stop that. It's part of life, part of nature, part of evolution. It's life. So
Mm-hmm.
why are we having those dreams? We, those dreams are also gifts, because you know having that dream in advance, going into the future, is a gift, so we can prepare ourselves.
Mm,
They're not there to make us sad.
mm-hmm.
I had this student in my school, and she also became a very, very dear friend. In my we worked with her almost 3 years. I have this school of shamanic arts, which is like goes on for 2 years.
Mhm.
And then she came to my, introduction workshop, and we've been friends for 3 years. And she graduated, and we became really close friends. However, she had cancer,
Mm.
and she really did everything. We helped her with everything we could. And then one day, it was last summer, I woke up with a dream, and I was feeling very, very sad. In the dream, I was receiving news about her death, and I was and about also her funeral. But then she was still alive,
Mhm.
and I was feeling devastated when I woke up. Feelings of devastation, very deep sadness there, and I knew in my bones what was going to happen. But then, it was a literal dream. But I want to take it in a more metaphorical way.
Wait.
Maybe death doesn't mean death in a metaphor. And I said maybe I will make her angry and our relationship will end.
Mm.
And I was lying to myself.
Mm.
I was lying to myself. I was trying to console myself.
Right.
And a few months later, I was in my bedroom when I just heard about her passing and her funeral. I was exactly in the spot where I was in the dream, you see. And I was really having a hard time because my father was also in the hospital with an operation. It was physically challenging for me, emotionally challenging in many ways. And then I thought, oh, thank you, dream, because you came. And if I hadn't known this, I would feel truly devastated at this moment in my life with everything going on.
Mhm.
Mm. You see, you know, uh, just that perception. I felt, blessed, protected. I knew this, so and I had to be, because my father has no one else but me to help him, and he was having this brain surgery. Just imagine how big the problem was. And at that time, you know, I was the one who needed to be strong and functioning, and so you see, the dream source comes with many surprises, and it's there to help us.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's there to help us.
Mhm.
Death cannot be avoided. We will die
Yeah. Yeah.
one day or another. So, asking any dream, is it possible that any part of this could manifest in the future, is a wise question.
Right.
And a good game to play is to ask, what part of me is each of the characters and elements in a dream?
Mm.
Uh, that would be a wise question as a start. However, I'd like to add this. We also want to remember that dreams are transpersonal as well as personal.
Mhm.
So that your, for example, deceased grandmother in your dream, for example, may not only be a part of you that is like grandma or carries her attitudes, I should say,
Mhm.
but your actual grandmother making a visitation, which is it goes on frequently in dreams.
Yeah.
And of course, you see, as I said, all my life, our breakfast table was the place we always shared our dreams. So
Yeah.
learning to share how to share dreams with a friend in a mutually helpful way is good. There is I mean, there are a few questions, uh, like start by telling the dream or the story, how whatever you call it, to each other simply and very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can ask each other a few questions like, how were you feeling when you woke up? When your first feelings? And then you could ask, could any of this happen in the future? And what are your associations? And then maybe even you can ask your friend, each other, to give title to the dream.
Mm.
Like what was playing in your movies last night, and
Yeah. Yeah.
what's the title?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
title of that?
Yeah.
And that title, could be whatever comes to your mind first, or something very descriptive.
Mm.
Because if you say the first thing which comes to your mind and you're having this keeping this dream journal,
Yeah.
you could see fear 1, fear 11,
Yeah.
fear 328, instead. Running away in fear from the burning house
Mm.
could be more explanatory. And in years, when you go back to that dream journal to check again,
Mm-hmm.
seeing that title will remind you of that dream. That's what I mean.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
And of course, yeah, asking for the title and the feelings, first feelings upon waking, and then could any of this happen in the future? Then first associations. Then we could say, if it were my dream, I would think about such and such.
Right.
Uh, yeah, and then of course dreams require action. Being grateful is good, but then how are you going to show your gratitude? Like in my carrots.
Yeah. 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 Yes.
So we would like to, what did we say about dreams? We dream for guidance and that energy and that healing. So we would like to encourage each other to take action to bring that guidance and energy from the dream into regular life.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, from that book, The Wisdom of Your Dreams by Jeremy Taylor, that if it were my dream protocol is very important, because basically what is always wrong is to tell anyone else what their dreams or their lives mean, or to let them do that to you.
Right.
And why? It's a part of our personal power, and we must become the authors of meaning for our dreams and our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, And you see, in our efforts to understand our dreams, we often get it wrong,
Mm-hmm.
because the dream reflects a situation that hasn't developed yet.
Right.
And we fail to look carefully enough at how the dream may reflect something that is developing in our world, but
Mm-hmm.
is not yet manifest.
Right.
Was that clear?
Yep.
Yeah, all right
Yep.
then.
Yep.
And we might also get the dream wrong by failing to discern whether a dream is literal or symbolic.
Right.
Yeah, so the
That's
funeral
a big
thing.
one. Yeah, that's a big
Uh,
one to
yeah, that's a big one. Big ones are good examples. That's why
yeah.
I'm sharing,
Yeah.
because we sometimes we don't want to take that literally.
Mm-hmm.
Emotionally, we're not there, but at a deeper level, we know.
Yeah.
We know in our gut it's literal,
Mm-hmm.
but still within our it's symbolic.
Yeah.
Well, but anyway, having the dream was, it was such a blessing.
Yeah.
I have to say, it was such a blessing
Mhm.
because if I had the news, hadn't had the news beforehand, let
Yeah.
me say, I would become, emotionally devastated,
Yeah.
do nothing. I wouldn't be able to help my father, myself, whatever.
Yeah.
That would be a disaster.
Yeah.
So, and many people say they don't dream, which is not true,
Yeah.
which it probably means they simply can't remember their dreams.
Yeah.
Because whether we remember them or not, we dream every night.
Mhm.
So, it's simple. It's my daily practice. It's part of me now. I'm not even calling it a practice.
Yeah.
So before you go to bed, write down an intention for the night,
Mhm.
and make sure your intention has some energy, some juice.
Mm.
Um, you shouldn't make that dream recall one more chore to
Mm.
fit in with all the others.
Right.
So, for example, and if you want to be, you can be spiritually correct, but you don't have to be.
Uh,
it doesn't. It has to be fun. It has to have some energy.
yeah.
You can ask to meet your dream lover, or go to Hawaii,
Yeah.
or have fun and remember that it could be as simple as that.
Yeah.
Or you might be having a problem and you could just say, I would like some guidance on my relationship. I would like some guidance on my work. Just make it simple.
Yeah.
And then keep that pen and paper next to your bed so you're ready to record something
Yeah.
when you wake up. And it is, you see, Brianna, recording something whenever you wake up, even it's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't remember a dream when you first wake up, you can laze in bed for a few minutes and see if anything, something comes back. Because what I found out is when you can turn around, because when you take your body back to the position while you were dreaming, that dream may start to flow back again.
Right.
Mm.
I'm just writing some.
And yeah, so if you don't still have a dream, write something down anyway, whatever is in your awareness,
Right.
including feelings, including physical sensations, because if you when you're doing that, you're catching the residue of a dream,
Right.
even if the dream itself is gone.
Right.
And as you do this, you're saying to the source of your dreams, I'm listening,
Mm-hmm.
talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a few sentences to say about fragments.
Okay.
Don't give up on fragments.
Mm. Yeah.
Because even that wispiest trace of a dream can be exciting to play with. And
Mm-hmm.
as you play with it, you may find you're pulling back more of the previously forgotten dream.
Mm-hmm.
So fragments need to be honored, in my view. And I said, dreams require action.
Mm-hmm.
And, uh, you know, feeling grateful is not action.
Mm.
So if we do not do something with our dreams, we will not dream well. That action, as I say, might be as simple as Googling a funny word, or grocery shopping for carrots, or you might decide to wear the color blue because we were flaunting it in the dream,
Mm.
or to get in touch with an old friend who showed up, or to avoid that accident or bombing in a possible future previewed by
Mm-hmm.
a dream. And of course, in time, when you're working with the dreams, as I said, the shamanic way, in time we can re-enter a dream to resolve even nightmares, uh, to talk to guides appearing in our dreams, or to go on with that adventure, or go to that place of healing again, place of guidance again,
Mhm.
or go to that connection with that the higher self or greater self.
Mhm.
That is nighttime dream. But for example, when you wake up and you're recording these dreams, and thinking them in the way I explained,
Mhm.
for example, you can, instead of asking, going into to sleep with an intention, you can go out into the world with an intention. You could say, just I need guidance with my relationship, and you can take a walk carrying that intention inside you. But then you have to trust your intuition. You might see something, something quite ordinary, but catching your attention at that moment. For example, when I was trying to decide whether to write this book or not, I just went out and with the intention, give me guidance about writing a book.
Mhm.
And I always take the same road during my daily walks,
Mhm.
always the same place. And you know what I found? I was walking for half an hour and then I saw a pen.
Mhm.
Hmm. A pen is quite ordinary, but that was the first time I was seeing a pen. Just, it was almost there waiting for me, okay? And I said, okay, that looks like a good sign, but let me see if it's still working. Then I tried it on a piece of paper. I'm the cautious type.
Yeah.
It was working. And I
Mm.
said, all right, Ben, that's encouraging.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and write a few words and see how that goes.
Mhm.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or you want to make a decision and you want that kind of thing, encouragement from the universe, or a nod or a no. Uh, We have two lakes in my city. We're about like 700, 800 meters higher up from sea level.
Okay.
That makes around 2,000 miles, I think. I'm not good with that mile thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, one day I wanted to receive some guidance about work relationship,
Mhm.
and I said, I that day it was a different day, so I said, let me go and walk around the lake, and it was winter, and I saw this sign, caution, thin ice. Hmm, you see, that was the first time I was seeing that too. It
Mhm.
is something very ordinary,
Mhm.
but you know, drawing your attention towards itself.
Mhm.
Just there, you see it. So that's the kind of thing you can play with every day. You can go to a book, open it for guidance, any book,
Yeah.
or turn on the TV. Or, I mean, my preferred mode of operation is taking walks
Mm.
when we're not locked down, but
Yeah.
anything. Or something interesting might come in the car license plate.
Mm.
Hmm, that could be interesting. Anything during that ordinary day, ordinary thing, which extraordinarily draws your attention, could be a direct message from the universe.
Mhm.
Because this is also a dream, you see.
Mhm. Yeah. No.
And of course, we're all dreaming the reality, the world into being. That
Mm.
is another level. we
Mm-hmm.
can work with that. I have only a few sentences to say about that because I think we're running out of time.
Mm-hmm.
But we also create the dream, the creation of the dream with our words. Uh, also thoughts. Thoughts are also words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, remember saying abracadabra as a
Mm-hmm.
child?
Mm-hmm.
That abracadabra is Aramaic,
Mm-hmm.
and it says, I will create as I speak.
Mm-hmm.
So, and first there was a word, let there be light. So, word is also thoughts are words. It's a very important part of creation. So, during the day, it is wise just to stop and ask yourself, what am I thinking right
Mm-hmm.
now?
Mm-hmm.
What am I with what kind of energy, what kind of attitude, what kind of behavior am I feeding the collective energy field with, the collective dream with?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we have our daydreams. And it would be wise to check that too. What are we feeding with our daydreams? What are we creating them? Because everything before manifesting is created in the invisible realms.
Mm-hmm.
We are all part of this creation.
Mm-hmm.
So, you see, maybe the last thing I should say is just we are all dreamers of the realities in our lives and our collective reality. And we really need to be trained in how to positively use our imaginations
Mm-hmm.
in one hand, and on the other also how to receive that guidance from nighttime dreams, and also how we can dream like shamans have been doing for tens of thousands of years, so we can bring that kind of healing guidance energy into this world, so we can create uh, like a more positive today and future for ourselves, loved ones, and the planet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a dreamer does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lovely. That's beautiful. I love that. There's a lot of information covered over that short amount of time. And I know that we've talked about how it's such a wide, topic, and that there's so many different avenues that you can take. So I really love those insights that you provided for us to start playing with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You should really, I mean, have fun with this. You should really like this because we have enough chores and
Yeah,
enough worries, and we don't need another chore, you see.
yeah, yeah. I love
We
that.
need to enjoy life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Well, thank you for bringing so much wisdom and insight into this topic for the members. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Brianna, for having me. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, of course.